we are exploring what we see as a world-class copper-gold porphyry system in the Luzon island of the Philippines. We have drilling imminent. We have 2 drill rigs ready to go. We'll be drilling up to 1.8 kilometre drill holes into what was a discovery that was made back in 1971. It's a world-class deposit. Unfortunately, there's been 5 different juniors, and each junior has drilled about 10 holes and run out of money or missed the cycle or whatever they did. But no one's actually looked at this ore body, and to this day, we still don't have a full suite of data that you'd expect from a discovery phase. So we don't have any geophysics, soils, rock chips. Typical techniques that you would use to discover a porphyry just haven't been done. And we've been operating in Vietnam now for the last 5 years. We've been operating in the Southeast Asia region. We're going to bring a lot of our equipment across. So we have our own geophysics equipment. We have our own drill rigs. We have our own metallurgical testing laboratory. So that allows us to keep our costs very low. For example, we were drilling for $50 per metre all in Vietnam. So this gives us great confidence that we can find more copper and gold in this asset. We're also strategically located 2.5 kilometres along strike of another world-class porphyry called the Far Southeast Porphyry, which is currently owned by the Lepanto gold mine. And that asset has attracted major mining companies, including groups like Robert Friedland, Rio Tinto, and Goldfields. Goldfields invested $500 million into that asset. And it just shows the type of strategic nature of these copper-gold porphyry systems. So we can use our experience in Vietnam, bring our equipment across, and really get some excitement back in the stock. Unfortunately, nickel was difficult for us. We've just announced a deal on our nickel asset. We will be free carried into production on that, and now we can focus our efforts and our funding going forward on the copper-gold asset in the Philippines. So we recently raised $22 million. That was cornerstone by Macquarie, a major institutional investor in Australia. Board and management have a strong position. So we have some good institutional support, particularly out of Southeast Asia and Australia. Top 20 own 62%, so a nice tight capital structure. You can see significant re-rate since we announced this copper-gold porphyry merger of equals back in February. So well received by the market, market cap around 120, 130 million with plenty of cash in the bank. So you can see some of the historic drill intercepts. I'll just grab the top one there, 911 metres at 1% copper equivalent. But what's really interesting about this system, it's very high gold grade. So typically we're getting copper to gold ratios of 1:1 as a minimum, but we're seeing even as high as gold to copper ratios of 2:1. So gold grades as high as 1 gram per tonne in a copper-gold porphyry system with significant intercepts of hundreds, if not thousands of metres. So we are located in the north of Luzon. There are a number of active gold mines in the region. A couple of the mid-cap gold miners include groups like B2 Gold, Oceana Gold, and also Metals Exploration. So a number of Western mining operators, but also a number of local Philippines companies as well. The Philex mine operating around 100 kilometres from our project, they've been mining a block cave for over 50 years. So we have significant mining expertise within the region and typical mining methods like long-hole open stoping, block caving and open pit mining, all within hundreds of kilometres of the project area. So you can see here, B2 Gold, Oceana Gold have been very successful operators in the Philippines for over 10 years now, and very low operating costs environment. Both of those groups continue to explore and expand their growth opportunities within the Philippines. One of the things that really attracted us to this asset was the strong work that had been done from the previous owners with respect to the social licence to operate. They recently extended the mining licence or the mineral production sharing agreement for another 25 years. So that was done in 2022. But in December 2024, they signed a memorandum of agreement with the local Indigenous people, which means full support from the Indigenous. As part of that agreement, they get a 1% royalty. So now also incentivised to work with us to move the mine into production. So the two key milestones for operating in the Philippines are the Mineral Production Sharing Agreement and the Memorandum of Agreement with the Indigenous people. So those two key milestones have been delivered by the previous owners, and now we can focus on de-risking this technically and moving it into production. So you can see this is a long section. So we have two world-class porphyries side by side. The Mankind porphyry, which we have just acquired, is 20 million ounces of gold equivalent. So when we talk about gold equivalent, these ore bodies are about 50% copper and 50% gold. So we have 10 million ounces of gold and 10 million ounces of gold equivalent in the copper, which is around 2.8 million tonnes. The next door we have a neighbour who also has a very large porphyry. Theirs is 40 million ounces of gold equivalent. So the two assets together are a 60 million ounce gold equivalent system. So this is one of the largest copper gold systems globally. And as you can see, particularly high gold grades, but also multiple mineralisation types. So there's also epithermal veins. There's two types of epithermal veins within this geological system. They have the gold-only epithermal, which is currently being mined by Lepanto next door. But they've also previously mined high-grade copper-gold, high sulfidation epithermal veins as well. And so there's 100 years of mining history here in this mining district. And that gives us confidence that we can continue to mine this district, and I believe for another 50 to 100 years still to come. One of the benefits of this porphyry is a particularly high-grade core, and that allows us for the potential to look at high-grade, lower capex starter options. So there is an opportunity here to look at a long-hole open stoping mining scenario, similar to the Didipio gold mine, which is operated by Oceana Gold. So they're currently mining a 2 million tonne per annum long-hole open stope with paste fill. So that could be a mining method that could be introduced on this particular ore body, or ultimately it could be mined through bulk mining methods like open pit mining or block cave or sub-level caving. So you can see this is a snapshot of some of the undeveloped copper gold porphyries globally. We believe that it's the gold grades that will attract major mining companies. Particularly the assets with high gold grades, from what we can see, are the ones that are attracting the major interest. And you can see we've got some of the highest gold grades of any of the undeveloped copper gold porphyry systems globally. Our high grade zone is particularly high grade and similar grade to our next door neighbour far southeast. We think with further infill drilling and particularly with some angle drilling that our grades will increase and will significantly increase the size of our bubble. It is already in the order of 1 billion tonnes. We think there's potential for significantly more to be found. So we have a dual pathway, really rediscovering this asset, but also looking at some of the study work behind the scenes over the next 12 to 18 months. We want to drill 50,000 metres. So in summary, this is a world-class mineral district, some of the highest grades you'll see in any copper gold porphyry system globally. It's a pro-mining president, Marcos, is in power for another 3 years. Successful operators like B2 Gold, Oceana Gold in the region. There has been a number of majors in this area previously. We think that the majors will come back to the Philippines, and it's these types of ore bodies that will attract them. So we're open in all directions. We're drilling 50,000 metres starting very soon, and really some exciting future ahead for the Blackstone Minerals shareholders. Thank you very much.